Fun fact, director John McTiernan almost got fired from Predator, his previous film, for cutting on camera movement too frequently, because that breaks the rules of continuity editing. That is, it makes it obvious to the audience that they're watching a movie. This rule breaking isn't exactly new and got pretty common in the 60s and 70s, but following a few high-profile flops and the cultural shifts we talked about in the 80s episode, this artsy-fartsy stuff became a no-go in mainstream film, especially a real studio action movie like Predator. Luckily for us, Die Hard editor Frank Uriosti encouraged McTiernan to pursue what he calls a lyrical style, cutting on instinct instead of rules, like a musician settling on a melody by ear. The end result is a film that's much more engaging to watch than Predator, and is just one of many ways in which Die Hard slyly lets its audience know that, yes, it is a movie. There are many ways to do this, and Die Hard's approach trends subtle. McTiernan and director of photography Jan de Bont give characters cool little pans that have nothing to do with the action on screen, a no-no for continuity editing. But these motions convey emotional reactions in a way words never could, the world spinning as McClane formulates his plan or Han's realization of an unanticipated variable. De Bont also fearlessly sends his camera into traditional no-go zones. Die Hard used a curved anamorphic lens to squeeze as much detail as possible onto each frame of film. This is, in McTiernan's words, the cheapest possible special effect because it makes every shot look better, but the flip side is the anamorphic lens's tendency to catch light in ways that human eyes don't, again, breaking the film illusion. But Die Hard embraces this irreality, making those errors part of the film's look, reflecting the overreactive bombast of the authorities, or the satisfying culmination of Han's plans, or whatever term paper you feel like writing. And while Die Hard didn't invent lens flare, it's safe to say it helped turn it into a Hollywood trope, even after improved technology effectively eliminated the hotspot's unintentional appearance. Finally, the 80s brought VHS and TV rebroadcast into monetary consideration, pressuring some filmmakers to focus action at the center of the frame. But de Bont almost intentionally drives his subjects to the edge, meaning that if you haven't seen Die Hard with black bars on the top and bottom of your screen, you really haven't seen Die Hard. The script is similarly self-aware, riffing off other 80s action films' effort to let the US psychologically win Vietnam.
Just like fucking Saigon! Hey, Slick! I was in junior high, dickhead.
It references Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Send enough plastic explosives to orbit Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And Sylvester Stallone.
Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks he's John Wayne. Rambo.
Who'd both passed on the McClane role before letting Willis describe his character as a decidedly different bird.
I was always kind of partial to Roy Rogers, actually. I really like those sequin shirts.
By 1988,
Stick around.
the action hero one-liner had become such a cliché
Knock, knock.
that the film plays around with it, giving the read of McClane's first real zinger to Hans.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
A trick the film recalls just before its conclusion,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
and one of a myriad of intentional crossovers between the two. In fact, the filmmakers loved the interplay between them so much that they concocted a scene early in shooting to have the two meet, with Hans pretending he isn't and McClane pretending to believe him. All neatly encapsulated in, of all things, an unabashed homage to the 1920 proto-noir cult classic, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Now, how many times does this happen in Predator again? I'm Cosmo Catalano. Until next time, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.